Well, hello there, Miss Washington here. I hope you are doing well. I hope your family's doing well. I hope you are taking great care of yourself. And so today I am going to be talking to you about social media monitoring. I'm also going to be shedding light in on social media marketing campaigns. So make sure you have your pads, make sure you have your pencils, make sure you have your ink pens. If you need your markers, do that. And let's get started in on today. So now when I talk about social media marketing, what am I talking about? I'm talking about the process of tracking, the process of measuring, and the process of evaluating your company or your organization's social media marketing initiative. What am I trying to accomplish here? What is my goal? What is my objective? You always want to have that goal in order before you start anything, because at that point, what are you going to monitor? You can't. And so when we talk about monitoring, it is so necessary on your platforms, especially if you are working for a company, especially if you have your own business. You want to track and you want to measure and you want to evaluate and you repeat. You put it on automation. You put it on repeat mode, because you always want to make sure that you have a return on your investment. And when we talk about that return on your investment, we want to make sure whatever time, whatever money you put into your campaigns or whatever you're doing, you want to make sure and evaluate what have you earned. Has there been a return on investment? Has there been an increase? Have you made something, or has it gone down? Is it working for you? And so when it comes to monitoring, it allows us to track it and to make sure that our efforts, that our time, that the skills and the talents that we have put into it, it is working for us. Otherwise, it's like throwing money into the air and you really don't know where that money's going. Did it work? Is it working? Am I losing? Am I gaining? What's happening? And so that's part of what we're going to be talking about today. And so we already mentioned it's about tracking, it's about measuring, it's about evaluating. It's evaluating the initiative. What is the goal here? That's the main thing. What am I trying to accomplish? And so when you are evaluating that, you have to say, is it brand awareness? Is it to put drive traffic to a certain place, to my place or to another site? What am I trying to do here? And so in that, we're going to be talking a little bit about the tracking aspect of it all. You know, sometimes people track by simply using particular keywords, putting keywords into the content, and then looking back by use of certain tools to see how it's working for you out there in the land, as I want to say a lot of times, out there in the world. Are people clicking on your, going to your website just by the content that you're putting out there, by the use of certain keywords? And a lot of times people use certain tools. I use, honestly, a lot of times I'll evaluate things with Google Trends, and I might put my information in and see if people are coming to my site by use of that. What we do now as well with our social media platforms, we will use hashtags, especially when it comes to Instagram. Instagram is huge with the use of hashtags. Twitter is huge with the use of hashtags. And so a lot of times we'll just put a hashtag in the search engine, whether I'm using it or whether I'm searching for it, the same way for you, and just to see what's happening on these profiles. How many people literally are using this hashtag? When I go and I pull up someone's profile, what does it look like? Is it a lot of engagement? You know, are they saying the same thing that I'm saying? What's the tone? What's the content being used? And so when we use hashtags, even when it comes to marketing campaigns, you will always find hashtags when it comes to social media. Okay. And so when we talk about your very own hashtag for your marketing campaign, it could be that you could be in education. And so right about now, we know our kids are in school. College students are back in school. You're in school. And so if I have a marketing campaign that I want to um, give, that I want to provide maybe tutorials, or I'm a tutor. It's I want to get, get more information out. Maybe I have a movement, maybe I have a cause, maybe I'm trying to reach that audience. What I want to then do is create my very own hashtag. So, we got school in the school year. You might find the school year hashtag. You may find a hashtag that says school days. But what about using a hashtag that says school days, but just the last words are spelled DAZE? You can create your very own hashtag. And the reason why you want to do it within a marketing campaign is because there is a goal here, but you know your goal. You should know your goal. What are you trying to accomplish? Are you trying to get people to an event? Are you trying to get them to be part of this movement, this cause? And so, in that, you're creating your very own hashtag. And then you want to be able then possibly to create a contest, because you're trying to get as much of you out there, your brand out there as possible. You want to get the more people as possible to literally use your hashtag. That is part of a marketing campaign. Another thing you want to know is normally marketing campaigns have a time stamp to them. So it could be, I have this certain product out here, and I'm going to use this particular hashtag. I'm going to create this contest, and basically it could be a month, it could be 3 months, it could be 6 months, it could be a year. But most marketing campaigns have a timestamp to them, and that's what you want to evaluate. Remember, even as we talked about our SMART goals, being specific, being measurable, being attainable, being relevant, and having there's a time bound to them. And so when we're doing that and we're tracking, I'm talking about marketing campaigns, you literally want to put that hashtag out there, and then even get people that that are already following you, you know, get them involved. Ask them. Sometimes, a lot of times we miss out on a lot of things because we just simply don't ask. Sometimes you just say, hey, ask, hey, would you mind sharing my content? A lot of times, remember, we use that ant, the A with the little swivel, and we mention people's names. We do that, and we put our hashtags out there, and then we monitor it and see what begins to happen. Many times you have to give things time, and you have to go from there. And so what happens too, when we begin to put information out, and if it's great, if it's like a great contest, I remember I did one year, I did a selfie contest I had something, it was at a mall, and it was the time when everybody was buying the selfie sticks. And I said, this is interesting, because it was a beauty event. And I said, you know what? I'm going to use this, but I'm going to use hashtag, and I forget, was something, something selfie. And it began to really, really trend. And so, and that's something that you always want to evaluate when you're putting something out there, what's happening. And this is the reason why we talk about the tools that are out there, and some tools that are out there. Google Trends. Google Trends helps you to evaluate what's trending. What would be something that I can use? Another thing, I'm gonna tell you what I love using, you all. I love using BuzzSumo, BuzzSumo. It allows me to even obtain content that is trending, that's out there. I can even see some hashtags that are that are really, really working for people. And then two, Social Blaze. These are tools that you literally can use when you are doing your research, when you are monitoring the information that you're putting out there, because you always want to track it. Because there may be times you have to tweak something. If you see the numbers aren't increasing in your insights or your profile visit, it just could mean that you just need to tweak something. You might need to pull something out, or you may need to put something in. And this is the reason why you always want to measure and you want to track and you want to see what's happening, and just to make sure that it's working for you. Okay. Another thing is when we are measuring, that literally means you are evaluating the metrics. What is the count? How many people came to my site? How many insights do I have? How many impressions do I have? Evaluate the ratio. Facebook is good at showing you ratios, especially if you're doing ads. You're running ads, they will show you ratios. They will tell you the ratio, your percentages. They will show you too how many men, the percentages of men that are coming to your site, or the brand awareness, whatever you're putting out there, the number of women. I mean, it even breaks down your age groups. And so that is a great thing to always evaluate, because a lot of times, you all, we might think that our market for the content that we're putting out there might be 20 to 30-year olds. And it could be the content that you literally are putting out there is connecting more with the 30 to 40-year olds. But the only way you're going to know that is by literally monitoring what's happening, by tracking and measuring it. All right. And so you want to be able to definitely use those tools out there, that are at your fingertips. And a lot of these things are free. I know BuzzSumo was free. I think there may be a fee to it, but some of these things are, you almost can't live without. All right. And so, too, we want to evaluate, what is my objective? What am I trying to accomplish? Is it about exposure? Is it about brand awareness? And so, when you're monitoring it, the insights and the impressions allows you to see the views, your page views. They allow you to see the views, and so you want to keep track of that. Another thing is, you want to look at your engagement, as we said before. When we look at that, you all, we're talking about time spent of people literally coming to your photo quote, evaluating your content. Did they engage? Did they say something? And one thing you can always do, even if people are not talking, click on the likes, see who literally may have liked your page, and then create a conversation. Engage with them. Use the ant sign, mention their name, and say, maybe it could just be, how was your day today? Those are ways in which you can begin to increase. I'm giving you a nugget, ways in which you can increase your engagement. Try it out. See how that works for you. It will work for you. Okay. Another thing is, we talked about influencers. What is an influencer? You have a lot of celebrities who are influencers. You have people that are big in the industry who are influencers. They literally have the ability to persuade. Many of you are influencers. You have the ability to persuade. That means you literally can get people to purchase. You can get people to go see something else. You can mention a movie and say, hey, you know what? I just saw this movie and you need to go watch it. I mean, that is the ability to persuade. When you can do that, that's part of you being an influencer. But a lot of times you have celebrities who are influencers, people who are big in the industry. That's how it comes. That's how it works. I mean, it works. Literally, an influencer has that ability to persuade, which means that return on an investment is huge. It's huge, because you're literally getting people to do what you want them to do. All right, and then you have to evaluate, how impactful are you? Are you able to get people to purchase? What's happening? Are you getting that return on your investment? And so you really, really want to look at all of that. But understand this: you always, before you start monitoring anything, you have to make sure you understand your goal. What are you trying to get people to do? And understand, you definitely always want to remember your call to action. What is it? Do not go and not have that in order. Tell people what you want. Tell them to go click. Tell them to go learn more. Just tell them, learn more, visit this, buy now, contact me at the, always give people in order, because sometimes people just click, and if you don't say anything else, they just keep moving on because you didn't tell me. How do I know that your bio or your link is in the bio? Sometimes you have to tell people because we scroll all the time. All right. And so I wanted to share that light on with that with you, because this is actually this is the business of social media. This is the business of social media marketing. And so you want to make sure, whatever goal you have in place, that you are also monitoring what's happening. You want to track, you want to measure, and you want to evaluate. And you put it on the repeat cycle. You put it on the repeat cycle, and you go back again just to make sure it's working for you. All right, that's all I have for you today. I'm looking forward to connecting with you. If you have any questions, make sure you reach out to us so we can answer them for you. All right. And we'll see you again very, very soon.